Welcome back to the channel. So today in this video I'm going to be talking about what does it mean to be, what have I learned from Clint Eastwood. The whole story is about, the four stages of life, four seasons of life. As we look at it, sometimes we say, the end of life, or some people say the last stage of life is the end of life. They always put more numbers on it, from 60 to 95, 60 to 100, or 70 to 100 years old. Is it really? The way I put it is that four seasons of life. In this video, spring, summer, fall, and winter. In what stage of life you locate yourself? Are you living spring life? It depends how you see it. It doesn't have to be age, numbers. I can be on my springtime, I could be in my 70s and living my spring life. But let's say that you put yourself, or myself, winter, right? Winter is the last stage, the elderly life, or the golden years. Either way, talking about Clint Eastwood, guys, what have I learned from Clint Eastwood? The way I see it is that Clint Eastwood has been a referral, one of those unique, being a celebrity like him, being a seasoned actor, director of movies, a legendary Hollywood, look at it in a simple way. Yes, that could be a simple, description of a personality like Clint Eastwood. 94 years old, still directing, acting, writing, producing big time movies. Yes, I think that's the first thing I learned from him. I'm not a director, of course. I'm not, anything like a creator of or producer of a big time movie. But as a humble, I'm just one of you, just a regular guy, regular person, on regular guy who's living in his second marriage. Yes, very much. I'm 60, I'll say, 61, right? 60 in my early 60s. But very much. What have I learned from him is that the first thing I would say is that being on my own skin. Clint Eastwood, what do I mean by being on my own skin? Is that I think he has very much being a host in his own kin, being Clint Eastwood. Of course, the star of legendary movies, cowboy movies, western movies. But he's been in his own skin. What I see from him is that he's enjoying. He doesn't care about what people are saying. That some people were making comments the other day on gossip, Hollywood, gossip news, that he's a walking dead. He looks like a cadaver, like a walking dead person. 94, yes, he's a skinny guy, all wrinkles. But he's walking, still walking. He's more active than many 30 years old guys, 30 something that are still dreaming to become an actor or director. He's directing, he's creating, he's conducting. He's been on his own skin. Where at that age, guys, most people are, nursing home, right? Material. Some people say, well, he's a nursing home material. No, he's not. As long as he's feeling that he's not nursing home material, he could be creating even past 100 years. He's 94. Most likely in the next 10 years he's going to produce and direct 10 more movies. Who's going to stop him? As long as he feels he's doing it, as long as he believes in himself. I believe in myself. I can do many things at any age. On my 60, right now, early 60, very much 61, right? I feel great about everything in life so far. My second marriage, my second marriage, and I'm not saying everything is like a beautiful, like a perfect life. But I think not bad, right? Not really. I don't think I think we can always look at life at any stage of life. Like I said before, spring, summer, whatever. I think I'm on my springtime. Many projects on my mind, many projects that I'm working on it. I'm thinking about it. Some of them, it's not executed yet, but I'm hoping the next 40 years ahead of me, 40, 50 years of life ahead of me, and that I can, become real, make it real, make it execute those dreams and hopes and projects ahead of me. That's number one thing. The first thing I learned, important thing that I have learned from Clint Eastwood. Now let's, second thing, how about quality of life? Does he does he have really his past 94 years old? During the past 90 years, a real quality of life? Yes, perhaps. And why I say that quality of life matters? I don't see, that a drunk Clint Eastwood or a party, a wild party life, a crazy party life, Clint Eastwood. Even though during his earlier years, when he was in his 30s, 40s, he was never, gossip in the middle of, gossip news. And I believe that very much. I mean, if you have seen him, his marriage life was very stable all the time, not involved in alcohol or drug addiction or rehab like other Hollywood stars. What about Willie Nelson? I'm not saying Willie Nelson. I'm not here to throw mud on Willie Nelson, but you see, if you compare these two big time celebrities like Willie Nelson, a huge legend, in the country music industry. 92. Remember, just last week. This is, just last week says he was interviewed. He gave an interview. I'm talking Willie Nelson now. He gave an interview about his life, and he's already talking about ending. Quote unquote. I'm quoting about the end of his life. He says that why he wants to end his life. I'm not saying he's suicidal. All I'm saying that. Willie Nelson have had a tragic life. You know that. His story. He was an orphan. He was very much raised by his grandparents. But it's a different life. I know. It's two different lives, two different situations. But it's the way you pick. We all pick our part of life. I mean, at any stage of life. I mean, things. We haven't, we all live different lives. Some of them tragic, some of them, more dramatic, some of them more happy life. I mean, if you are a child of a billionaire, most likely your life is, surrounded by, by money, a golden, parachute, golden, everything. I mean, private colleges, nannies, and the whole amenities that you can have being a son of a billionaire. Or hedge fund, babies they call nowadays, many, or crypto baby. If your parent became a billionaire with a cryptocurrency, and you are one of those babies, living your good life, early childhood, good, beautiful life, yes, it's perfect. Aquí soy yo, mamá. ¿Me puede dar por favor uno de estos de 65? Sí, por favor, y una Coca-Cola, de lata o de botellita, por favor, señor. Sí. ¿Cómo está? Buenos días, señora. ¿Perdón? Natural. Limonada. Deme una limonada, por favor, entonces. Gracias. This is one of my favorite places. Sí, no, normal, por favor. One of my favorite places. In this place with the equivalent of less than $4, a good lunch with a refreshment, like something to drink, a sweet drink, So it's good, always good to be back here. I was here like a month and a half ago. It was a good experience, eating a beautiful, nice lunch. One of those, my favorite spot here in the capital city of Tegucigalpa. And the line is getting crazier here on this. You see how the line is, how popular this place is. So it's great to be here. Oh, perdón, creo que, sí, bueno, sí creo que está bueno. ¿Cuánto me dijo el mío? 90, 90 lempiras for this lunch. Sí, gracias. So keep talking about The second point I was making about Clint Eastwood comparing to Willie Nelson. Ah, yeah, voy para acá. Gracias. So I'm making my way here to get my change, of course, and not just change, but having my gracias. Muchas gracias. Me trae el bol, ¿no? ¿Verdad? Sí, sí, muchas gracias. Sí. So, going back to the issue of, the 4 seasons of life, like, spring, summer, fall, winter, talking about Clint Eastwood. What have I learned from Clint Eastwood? Willie Nelson, of course, I learned things too, and that's what I'm trying to here convey, guys, about two different lives, two different legendary celebrities, one in music, country music, the other one in movie making, two huge personalities. But guys, from Willie Nelson, what I have learned is that what not to do. Cannabis, no, never done it, never tested or tried it. And the public display, guys, of him, even in public, this, I'm not here to throw more. I love his music, Willie Nelson's music. I'm not here to, besides the guy is almost 90, I mean, he's 92, and he's talking about, his personal tragedies in life and why he thinks that for him everything is over. But that's the second thing, is that he said that life is over, that Willie Nelson at 92 is just want to end everything. But, and Clint Eastwood at 94, just making new projects, man, writing new, scripting new movies, new projects for the next 10 years, guys, at 94. I prefer to be like Clint, to be like Clint Eastwood. I never met the guy, never had before anywhere. Of course, why not? Maybe someday, right? I never asked him for an autograph, but things that I learned, just as a layman, just another person, just one fan, right? Definitely being optimistic, being positive of things, and take care of my health. That's the third thing. Take care of health, man. Eat healthy. Does this mean eating healthy? Well, look at this, guys. This is a lunch for less than $4. To be precise, like a $3, the equivalent of $3.50, very much. And look at this juice. This is like a huge lemon juice, guys. Look at this, a huge lemon juice with tortillas, lemon tortilla, right? Tortillas and lunch right here. And this is my change, of course, right? So I think it's healthy. It's not bad. It's not liquid. It's not like a. Earlier I asked for a soda, like a Coke. No, I don't drink Coke that much either, like a soft thing. But maybe every once in a while I do. Once a week, maybe twice a week. That's healthy, I think. So I think the third point I'm making about eating healthy, exercising. One of my next video I'm planning to put like my exercise machine at home. I don't have to be a member of a gym or spend money as an expert. I expert myself. I'm very frugal, very much minimalist. But Clint Eastwood, of course, he lives. I'm not saying that he's a minimalist. All I'm saying here is that simple life, guys. He still walk, just like he did. Gene Hackman. He used to walk to get his coffee at the Starbucks coffee, Dunkin' Donuts. Do his coffee, work for his donuts for coffee. At the end of his life, the last day of his life in Mexico. But Clint Eastwood does the same. He just next door guy walking to his supermarkets. People have spotted him doing his own shopping. Still walking, exercise, moving. At any stage of life, if you're in your 30s, definitely you should be moving. 20s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I mean, if you're doing your video game, which is now the new X, Y generation, the Y Z generation, all these new. I mean, you spend 15, 18 hours with the video games, with an iPad, stuck with the machine, with the on the screen. I don't think it's healthy. That's why there are so many people with diabetes early, on his early 20s. I mean, overweight, disease, overweight population, the epidemic of overweight, population is crazy. It has more than 50% of, not just in the U.S. and Canada and Europe, but most, other countries too, right? Even in developing countries, the smoking cigarette and soft drink and the addiction of video games on the phone, social media, of course, that creates an addiction that makes you not being healthy. So at any age, I think Clint Eastwood was, he's still skinny guy, just like when he was filming The Bad, the Ugly, and remember that famous trilogy of his movies, skinny guy on his own skin. So being on my own skin, I think I have learned that I have learned that definitely for years. I've been watching him, his personality, his movies, his interviews, his lifestyle. So that's all for this video, guys, and let's get real, get be in our own skin. If you live, we live, try to live life in our own skin. I think we can make it long, many years, and quality of life. Is that doing the numbers, guys? Is that doing just the numbers, 94, 100 years, but have the quality of life like Clint. And thanks, take care, and see you in the next video. Bye.